It's showtime with me, Chewy, along with your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, right here on the world famous
Boss Radio, Los Angeles.
Great tunes, great times, great radio. You know what gets me through the night? Boss Radio, baby. John Lennon, Elton John, right here on the world famous Boss.
Whatever.
Your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. If you hold on, you got more on the way. Pat Benatar, REM, right here on the world famous Boss. The greatest Boss hits of all time. We are the world famous Boss. Still looking to catch these guys live in concert? Well, you could do so May 11th at the Cruel World Festival in Pasadena, California. Ladies and gentlemen, Duran Duran. We've got you great tunes, great times, great radio. Of course, all she wants to do is dance. We are the world famous Boss. Hi there, it's me, Chewy. Did you know that we just missed out on the biggest sports event of the year? No, not the one about the bowl that's super. No. These are the Florida Man games that were held in St. Augustine, Florida last weekend. It showcased one-of-a-kind, tongue-in-cheek talents that nearly every Floridian has already mastered, with events such as evading arrest obstacle course. It's for both individuals and groups. They jump over fences, run through backyards, and away from actual police officers to earn their freedom. They also had a catalytic converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipes race against time for both individuals and groups. They also had chicken coop bingo. Now, I've been thinking, what other events should they have for next year's event? Number 1, the bath salt zombie cross-country race. Wouldn't that be fun? Or the alligator toss. Oh, that would be cool. Number 3, drunken fist fight at a McDonald's parking lot at 4 a.m. Now, I'm just spitballing, but you could probably come up with some better ideas. What other events would you like to see? How about you tell me at bossbossradio@gmail.com or jump on the Boss line, 844-447-2677. That's 844-447-BOSS. Your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, right here on the world famous Boss. Speaking of Florida men, these gentlemen out of Orlando bringing you number 1 music from their debut album, Yourself or Someone Like You. Here's Matchbox 20 on the world famous Boss. Van Camp and Morgan Mornings in the greatest Boss hits of all time. This is Boss Radio.
On the next Van Camp and Morgan show,
it is me, your emotional support animal, Chewy, along with your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, right here on the world famous
Boss Radio, Los Angeles.
The greatest Boss hits of all time. We are the world famous Boss. Written by Errol Brown and Tony Wilson of Hot Chocolate, and ranked the number 22 song of the year 1976. Oh, you sexy thing. It's the world famous Boss.
I believe in miracles.
it's showtime with Chewy here on The Boss.
Great tunes, great times, great radio. We are the world famous Boss. Bob Seger along with his Silver Bullet Band there. You got The Who, The Eurythmics, next on the world famous Boss. Playing your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, this is the world famous Boss. Let me tell you a story about the little song that could. Back in 85, when this was originally released, it was a moderate hit. But it wasn't until 2022 when a little TV show that you might have heard of called Stranger Things made it a hit. Here's Kate Bush running up that hill right here on the world famous Boss. We are the world famous Boss. Well, it's not a boogie wonderland in South Korea, and I'm going to be telling you all about that next. Right now, you got Earth, Wind, and Fire right here on the world famous Boss. Great tunes, great times, great radio. We are the world famous Boss. This song might sound a little familiar to you. It was covered by Whitney Houston back in 92 for the motion picture The Bodyguard. This is the original. Shaka Khan, I'm Every Woman, right here on the world famous Boss. Now, as I was teasing earlier, it appears that the nation of South Korea is on the verge of extinction, and it has nothing to do with their neighbors to the north. Now, I'm going to throw some science on you. In order to maintain a population, this is to maintain a population, the average woman needs to have 2.1 kids. Now, the nation of South Korea has been on a bit of a slide as of late. Currently, the birth rate for the entire nation is at 0.72, not 2.1, 0.72 kids per woman. And it's estimated to drop to 0.68 this year. And that's not the worst part. In the capital of Seoul, it's at 0.55, which means that their current population of 51 million people will be halved by the year 2100. Now, the government has tried all sorts of financial incentives to try to reverse this, but people, they're just not interested. I say we send them Nick Cannon and the problem sorts itself out in 5 years or less. Who's up for another hour of shenanigans along with your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond on the world famous
Boss Radio, Los Angeles.
Playing the greatest Boss hits of all time. We are the world famous Boss. Gin Blossoms are on the road, and you can catch them March 15th at the Event Center at Rivers Casino in DePlain, Illinois. Or you can catch them right now on the world famous Boss. Number one music with Claire and the rest of your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond on the world famous Boss. Bruce Hornsby and The Range next. What you got here is the world famous Boss.
I need a sign to let me.
Nope, don't do it. Don't fall in love. Well, unless she's listening to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond right here on the world famous Boss, then it'll be okay. Now, if you own or know of a business that could benefit from our worldwide audience, let us know. You see, advertising on radio is one of the most cost-effective ways to promote your message. If you'd like to learn more about advertising on the Boss Nation of stations, yes, there is more than one of us, contact us at bossbossradio@gmail.com. That's bossbossradio@gmail.com. We are the world famous Boss. Billboard magazine found the song to be a cross between John's earlier single Crocodile Rock and the Rolling Stones single Street Fightin' Man, suggesting that it may actually be a parody of the Rolling Stones, but regardless is a great fun record. Playing the greatest Boss hits of all time, London Beat on the world famous Boss. A New York City man who admitted to smuggling 3 Burmese pythons in his pants through a U.S.-Canadian border crossing was sentenced Wednesday to a year of probation and fined $5,000, federal prosecutors said. Calvin Batista, 38, crossed into northern New York with the young adult snakes hidden in the inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to his pants drawstring. He would have got away with it, too, if only the snakes didn't start wiggling around. That's when the customs agent asked him, "Is there a snake in your pants? Or are you just happy to see me?" The Fix is next on the world famous Boss. Knock, knock. It's me, Chewy, and I've got more of your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond right here on the world famous
Boss Radio, Los Angeles.
Great tunes, great times, great radio. We are the world famous Boss. Director James Gunn has announced that they've begun principal photography on the new Superman movie that's due to hit theaters in July of 2025. Until then, I've got 3 Doors Down with Kryptonite on the world famous Boss. Stevie Wonder and the greatest Boss hits of all time. Dire Straits, Eagles, next on the world famous Boss. Playing your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. This is the world famous Boss. Matchbox 20 is going to be at the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 Sunday, May 26th in Concord, North Carolina. And Saturday, August 10th, they're going to be at Boots and Hearts Music Festival in Oro Station, Canada. Can't forget about our Canadian friends, eh? It's the world famous Boss. I can dream about you, but I still have to keep 100 yards away. All right, I understand this time. Your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond right here on the world famous Boss. Make sure to join the insane Daryl Wayne and the Knuckleheads for 3 hours of free-form rock and roll radio every Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, right here on the world famous Boss. Playing your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. This is the world famous Boss. Out of San Francisco, California, and putting a spell on you since the mid-'60s. Here they are with a song off of their 12th studio album, Abracadabra. It's Steve Miller Band on the world-famous Boss. The greatest Boss hits of all time. Foreigner on the world-famous Boss. My name is Chewy, and I am out of here. David Lovejoy, he's next. I'll talk to you again next weekend. Take care of yourselves. Until then, bye-bye now.